You're watching Minister's Material with Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa.
Since a lot of people possess it, it's a gift, right? But it is a misdirected gift. Now, I will tell you what to do now so that you can prove me wrong on this one. If you've come across a critic, right? And maybe he writes something, he posts something, maybe on the internet, against maybe a particular business person, or maybe another head of state, or maybe the minister of that, and it's coming from a critic, right? If you look at the article that he has written, when you finish reading the article, just close it and then go for the critic. You'll find that in his own personal life, there are so many things to be corrected. No. This is too heavy. I want you to get it. Criticism was actually meant for the critic himself. It was a gift given to him so that he can deal with his own personal life. And then it becomes a misdirected gift. He begins to work on other people. Go now, from now. You don't need to be a prophet to see this. Go and make a follow-up. Every criticism that you find, go for the critic. You look into his life, look into his marriage, look into everything. And then you understand. This is why maybe God had given him that gift. The gift was supposed to work on the owner. Look at them. Look at her. Look at him. The person, some of you are here, you know the person. Maybe some of those people are not even far away from it. Maybe he's sitting somewhere here. Go and look. Analyze. The person that is criticizing you, he's dealing with a lot of issues. Emotional issues, attitude issues. Which means that grace to analyze other people, it was given to him so that he can begin to work on herself. So it becomes a misdirected gift. And those people that criticize, they are gifted. If only they would use that gift on themselves, first of all. They are gifted. They are gifted. Criticism was meant for the critic. Another point, criticism might not necessarily be about you, but a reflection of the critic himself. When you are criticized, when somebody comes to you and he criticizes you, the criticism that you have received from that person might not really be about you. It could be a reflection of the critic himself. You can know, you can tell what the person is suffering from, just looking at the kind of criticism that he gives to you. Okay, as a physician, what do you think about a situation whereby maybe after treating a patient, when you think everything is now okay, and then you ask him, so how are you feeling now? And he says, agriculture. It sounds like he has not answered your question, but he has actually answered. At least you know what is coming out of his mouth is a reflection of his condition. So criticism, actually, in most cases, it is a reflection of the person that is criticizing you. So you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. And in most cases, do you know why some of you, when you're criticized, you feel so bad? It's because of a position that you might have given to that person who is criticizing you. Because if you knew that the person was out of his mind, you were never going to be concerned. Am I wrong on that one? Let's get to the next point. C. Point C. Criticism is a small people's game. Criticism, it is for small people. Small people's game. That's what they play. If you come across anybody in your life that has been backbiting you, backbiters should be biting you from the back. You can't have a backbiter biting you from the front. Listen to this. Please, I think this has to work for somebody. The reason why when you are criticized by somebody and it offends you and it touches your spirit, you are concerned, is because of the position that you have placed that person. If you consider that person to be behind you and you are ahead of him, you appreciate every criticism that he throws at you because you are already a threat. Just by being on front, that's why you have to be backbeaten. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? So this is how I do it myself. There was a time when I was criticized a lot. I remember some years ago, I used to have a line, my phone line, for about maybe 6 up to 7 years that I was using. And when we started ministering and doing the work of God, I would receive constructive criticism and destructive. And messages would come after the service when you think you've done your best. Ah, my God. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God. People can talk. People can speak. Some of you, the reason why criticism can hurt you easily is because you are used to positive criticism. You always want people to speak good about you, say nice things about you. And if you see that kind of a trend and things happening in your life that way, and everybody around you is talking good about you, get ready. The devil is about to send somebody who is going to hurt you. If you look into married people, there are certain married people, women, ever since they have been married, they have never had any discussion. They are being insulted. The man is always angry. Even in the presence of the visitors, he's always insulting his wife. And after insulting the wife, he goes away, he comes back after 2 days, that's okay, and the wife is dead. That's okay. She gets used to those insults. But the one that has never been insulted, try it. For the first time. Insult her for the first time. She was used to ride on good opinions. People saying good things about you. Oh, you are the greatest leader. We have never heard such a sermon. Until somebody comes and he tells you, I thought you were about to start. What kind of a sermon was that? And that's the beginning of the ministry. That's the beginning of ministry. I want to look at you and see how you respond to that. After doing the best, do you realize that even if you're going to get 70 people commenting positive on what you have done, the moment you get to one person, he takes over the entire thing. That one, you will never forget it. And the only way you can mature from that, you have to go through it. Like we normally say, only in water can you learn to swim. You have to get into water. You can't practice swimming here. It's only in water where you can learn to swim. You have to go through all those criticisms, preparing you for a better place. Because every time when you move to the next level, in the secular world and in businesses, they call it NLE, next level of excellency. And every time when you move to the next level of excellency, I personally believe that you need to prepare also for the next level of criticism, NLC. You can't get a better and a higher level in excellency without an increment in the criticism that you receive. Are we together? As long as you'd want to make it in life, get ready for this. People are going to be attacking you, criticizing you, and fighting you. And most of the people, to be honest with you, that are criticizing you, they are not really saying the truth. After attacking you and criticizing you, when they go home, about to sleep, switch off the lights, cover themselves with some blankets. Before he can sleep, he knows that what I've been saying is not the truth. They know the truth. They know the truth. Criticism always, it has to come from behind. Second point, under point C. A critic has to be given what to criticize. So they are never at the forefront. A critic has to be given what to criticize. Look at this. A critic, if you don't give him anything to work on, to comment on, he doesn't have anything to do. Which means he's not on the production side of the industry. He waits for certain people to achieve certain achievements. Unless there is anything to work on, they can't work on anything. Which means a critic has to be given something to work with. Which means they are not on the forefront, they wait until somebody does something and then they can attack it. These people are busy trying to tear down other people's houses instead of building their own houses. Their own houses. So he has to be coming from behind a critic, and a critic has to be a smaller person than you. He has to be doing that from a lower level. It can't be coming from the top. The moment you see somebody on top criticizing you and you are below, it's a sure sign that you're already above the person. Because criticism, it always has to come from below. Backbiters, they have to bite you from behind. Am I talking to somebody? Am I talking to somebody? Am I talking to somebody? So if somebody, let's say you get attacked by somebody that you consider to be an influential person, maybe he's a politician, that will touch you as compared to if it was any other person. If it is the minister of that and that and that and that, maybe 3, 4, 5 ministries, and then he attacks you, it will get into your body, it will into your spirit, because you consider that person to be above. But what you don't consider is this: he could be a politician, a minister of this and that, but is it in a thriving economy? Because if the economy is not thriving, that puts him below you. I'm trying to help you, because when you know what, when somebody comes and he walks in front of you and the person is out of his mind and you know, and then he tells you to get out of the way, you don't mind. Even for the next 2 hours or so, you'll be thinking about something different. But if somebody driving a Mercedes-Benz comes and he insults you, it will get into your spirit. Because of the position that you have given to that person. And yet the fact that he has criticized you is a sure sign that he is below you. Though driving a good car, he's below you. Why is he threatened? I'm not driving anything here. You are the one driving. Why are you not comfortable? You should always find the reason why criticism should never get into your spirit. No matter how big that person is, just because of what he has done to you, it's a sure sign that he's biting you from behind. Am I helping somebody there? Because these people, if you agree to it, I'm giving you causes why men of God expire before their time. You can expire. Let's go to part D. Critics do not agree. Jesus came eating and drinking, and they said he's a glutton. And John came not eating, not drinking, and they said he's got an evil spirit. If you try to combine all the criticism that you got, they will not make any sense. Look at Mark chapter number 14, verses 55 and 56. Critics will never agree, and the chief priests and all the council sought for witness against Jesus to put him to death, and found none. For many bear false witness against him, but their witness agree not together. Okay, go to Matthew chapter number 11, verse 18. Matthew 11, verse 18. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he hath a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous. Coming to the same audience. My God, critics, they can never agree. I've heard people coming to me and telling me that I've never seen a man as humble as you are. And I've heard people again coming to me telling me that pride is my problem. If you are going to publicize your humanitarian work, if you are going to be giving to the poor and you put it on TV, people are going to criticize that. They will tell you that the Bible teaches us that when you are giving to the poor, you don't have to make the right hand know what the left hand is doing. And if you don't put it on TV, they will say you are greedy. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. Let God use you to perform any miracle. And don't record it. Tell people to move around, telling other people, they will say, where's the... We can't just be talking here. Let's have something. When you record it, oh, they're trying to make names for themselves now. Jesus never did all that. They don't realize that even the Bible itself, it is a recording. This is a recording. So critics will never agree. On the other hand, you hear people saying they pay people so that people can give false testimonies. Those people are never sick. They are getting paid for that. The other group is coming from there. Once he prays for you, you pay. He prays for you, you are healed, they make you pay for it. Prosperity preachers. I remember there was something that they used to say some other time. There was a time when there was a stampede, remember? And we had almost like 18 people that got injured. And from our house, we couldn't go straight to the church. I had to pass through the hospital and to pray for them. And some of these people were actually taking x-rays before I arrived. They were badly injured. Some had broken ribs. And then I passed through the place and 17 were discharged in the next 2 hours. One person was left. X-rays are there. But it became an issue again. He's trying to sacrifice those people so that he can have big numbers. These are already big numbers killing each other. Critics, they can never agree. Ari kuchekeresa kuti vanhu vawande. Ko vakuwadzana seka na vanga vari tu. Vashoma stampede. Like I said, here we'll be talking about some of these things that we don't talk about when we are preaching. We are leaders, all of us, right? Where I'm coming from, I never knew that having a father was that important. I never knew. Because already I had my own scriptures in the Bible, never call anybody father on earth. Is there? Never. That's what Jesus said. Exactly what you're saying. That was my scripture. And yet the same Jesus said, honor your father and your mother. After telling you never to call anybody a father on earth, the same mouth, same Jesus, Jehovah Jireh. And he tells you to honor your father again. I had to look into all that. Maybe we might cover that as well. Yeah, because that's one of the ways you can avoid expiration. But if you look at now, even if we are going to be prophesying and praying for people, if I'm to show you newspaper articles that were coming when we were still in Bulawayo, there was a time when it would come in the Chronicle almost once every week because of the miracles that were happening there before my father found me physically and before I got anything from Ghana. And during that time, I remember very well, I would go for conferences and I'm not on the program. I'm not one of the preachers. But because there is a need somewhere, I'll be called. I will have to be there. All of a sudden, I'm called to come and minister. What were they seeing then? What were they seeing? I don't know why people choose to ignore the past. Prophetically, you could tell, you could see. You could see. I got hundreds and hundreds of invitations everywhere where they want to have a project. They would think of inviting me. What was it that they were seeing if it is not the prosperity grace? Has it started now or it was there already? And you actually also benefited from it. But now that I'm benefiting from my own gift, because criticism is meant for the critic. We can't finish. Sit down. Let me try to close. So people at the back of their minds, they know the truth. They know the truth. There was a time when we were in the United Kingdom, and I was there for some few days. My father was supposed to be the one ministering during that conference. But then my father, months before the conference, he told me that, son, the dates are already set. I've been invited to come and minister. But I want you to be ready. Just prepare even 2 sermons. Because I won't be there on time because I'm going to be burying somebody here. We're talking of months before. And then I said, oh, very sorry, Papa. Somebody died. And he said, no, he's not yet dead, but I warned him. He said, and he said to me, son, do you know there is a man that we met at this particular day at a certain place? I said, yeah, I remember. And he said, yeah, that one. I called him and I warned him to make certain decisions. And I told him that if he doesn't do that, that's what God is telling him to do. The devil is going to mess his life up and this man is going to die. And I gave him the date. And he wouldn't listen. And I had to invite him. And my father called 9 people. The whole committee of the church was there. And my father said, all of you here, leaders, I've called this man. You know he's not part of the leadership. I've called him so that I can announce this in your presence. So that at least when he dies, you will not undermine my prophetic grace. I've told him to correct 1, 2, 3 things. And if he does not do that, he's going to die. And this is the date. And still after that, he answered my father in the presence of all those people. And then my father said to me, you are going to be preaching because that's the time that I said. So I'll have to bury him and then I'll come. No. So 2 weeks before the conference, he died. And normally they can spend 2 weeks or even a month before they can bury anybody. So the man was just in the mortuary. And it wasn't my father who said the burial date. He was there. He wasn't the person burying the man, but he was there. And after the burial, that's when he flew. And it was on the 2nd day of the conference. And I'd already preached the first sermon. And the second, when my father came, he then ministered. And he was asking people, did he do anything, my son? And I had not done anything. I just ministered because I'm comfortable when it comes to teaching of the word. You see, critics, there are critics like that. Everybody that comes to our ministry knows that I'm just there to teach. Anybody who doesn't come, they think we are there to prophesy and to pray for the sick. That's it. Like I said, critics, they will never agree. So my father, instead of him ministering, he said, so this is the last service. And everybody said, this is the last service. I said, no. Please, hosting pastor, let's have another service in the evening. My son has to minister. If he ministered and he preached and he taught the word of God, that's okay, but he should have done something. And I said, because I knew that I was there just to prepare the way for him. So he came and then he created another service which was not even meant to be there. And then people came back. And then he introduced me. And then he said, now this one, I will not have to explain. I'm not going to waste my time. We are talking of miracles that you can see happening now. And then he said, I would want some health department guys, please, can we have some scale? Because if there are any people that are overweight here, get ready, I'm about to introduce my son. If you have any problem. And then before he could introduce me, he said, do we have people with short legs here? Short legs. And here comes a lady. This leg was over here, hanging like this. And she came doing like this. And I said, what?
Thank you for watching Minister's Material. Join us again next time for yet another inspirational teaching from Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa.